Lynn Christian here from Soul Salt, and today we're going to be talking about self-doubt because we are never immune to that. It always creeps up. And thank goodness we have our coaching live experience with Chloe, who's dealing with self-doubt right now. So it's very timely that we discuss this. And there must be good reasons that you have it. Uh, that's one thing we don't allow ourselves is to think, oh, I'm feeling doubtful about myself, and then we negate it by saying, well, I shouldn't. And the truth is, if you're feeling it, you're feeling it. So what do you want to share about that?
Yes. Well, and I have definitely been feeling it, as you say. I'm feeling the feels. Yeah, this for me, you know, coming, it's connected, I think, to this, the creative project that we've largely been talking about here, which is we've kind of defined it as it's called the Alive Hour, and it's an audio journey about hearing about healing through hearing your own voice, and which is yeah. So it's very personal. It's been a real joy to make, and right now I've been making it since well, I've been working on it since July, putting it out since the end of October, and now it's March. So now it's been going out every week, and I'm now really considering, like, okay, I feel like it's time to take a step back and kind of pause and maybe continue to put some things out over the next couple of months, but really take a step back and see what was working, see what this was all about, and see what it could look like going forward. But I know that I'm observing fears, a lot of fear in terms of even just taking a step back from it. I wrote down letting myself down, letting others down, failing to show up for myself, not living in alignment. And then just kind of broader, I wrote down, I can observe a big time cycle that I get caught in is feeling caught in this fear, and then also putting myself down for letting that happen, kind of this like angry, like, oh, figure it out, or like, what, okay, well, it's fear, so what, so get over it, or like stop wallowing in it. Or there's a lot of like kind of negative, mean talk that seems to come up around the fear too. So those are some of the places I'm at right now with fear and self-doubt.
Well, I'm sure people listening are going to relate, because you're beating yourself up for having it, but you're having it, and you're stepping back with something that you're really aligned to yourself. Like the Alive Hour is a part of you. It's creative. It was courageous. It puts you out there. You've had some fans starting to grow on it, and stepping away from it probably brings up self-doubt too. Like, am I doing the right thing? So I guess I have a question for you. Are you holding, and this is a yes and no question, and rarely do I ask yes and no questions, but I'm going to ask this one. Are you holding a paradigm in your mind that you're either going to fail or you're going to succeed at launching the Alive Hour? Like, you only have two options, failure or success.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Okay. And why did you laugh, and what did that tell you?
Because it sounds really ridiculous when you say it out loud. It sounds really ridiculous when you say it out loud. It doesn't sound ridiculous, but it sounds like there is obviously more room for gray in that. I think that there just feels, there's this pressure that is probably coming from no one but myself, but there is this pressure to, if, like, I don't know, like right now I feel like I don't have kids, and this thing feels like a kid. Sure. And so it feels as life and death as, if I don't nurture this little baby Alive Hour, it's going to die. So my baby digital child will die. Okay. My baby extension of myself will die. And that is painful. I don't want that to happen. Sure.
No, of course not. I mean, everything you're saying makes practical sense. We have self-doubt and we have fear to keep us from jumping off of cliffs, running in front of moving trucks and trains, doing something that's, stepping on this dark spot at night, not knowing if it's a different color of tarmac or a hole. That fear holds us back from self-destruction. And it can get misplaced, really misplaced, when we think that you're going to self-destroy or the Alive Hour is going to self-destroy. And you only have two options. It's going to live and thrive or die. What could possibly be in all that space in between live and die, or live or die?
Yes, it could live it could pause-ish, but then find its way towards a healthier way of living, or like a more balanced way of living. It could yeah, it could look like probably a bunch of different things. That one is the one that, yeah, I don't know. It could be that whatever the current iteration of the Alive Hour is as digital morphs into something else that isn't digital at all. Like it could be an in-person thing. It could be just a connecting with community. It could be other things that are extensions of myself that don't actually just have to manifest in this one really rigid way.
Interesting. It sounds like you're giving yourself some really good answers. Because if this is really a child, you're not allowing it to have a summer break.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, as a school teacher, I would see kids leave in the spring and come back in the fall, and they'd grown a couple of inches, and their communication style had grown and matured. And it sounds like you're holding on to this baby and not letting it grow.
Mm. Wow, I had not thought of that. That is very interesting. Huh. So yeah.
Yeah, as a parent, wouldn't it be nice to have a summer break or some kind of break?
Yeah, it really would be nice to have some break. I'm really liking this metaphor a lot.
And I know you just got back from a break. What does a break do for your perspective?
Yeah, it alters it, I think. It alters it a little bit, which I think is also kind of scary. And that might also be, I didn't think about that either, that being on just a physical break might be affecting me a little bit too. Because yeah, I think largely I felt, I mean, in the last total 2 years of not really breaking, you know, in quite the way that we normally think of it. I know that just being in my space and like committing to my space and keeping everything very small has helped me like emotionally. And so even taking kind of some distance from that was an unnerving thing to do in some ways.
And yet wise.
Yeah, and yet wise.
I'm also hearing, if we can play with the metaphor some more, you know, when it's time to go back to school, you're going to need some babysitters, and you're going to need some support and somebody else to pick up a kid from preschool or whatever it is. Wouldn't this be a good time to enlist support and really take time to say, hey, Shannon, this is what I need from you. Can you commit to that? Hey, Lynn, this is what I need from you. Can you commit to that? Wouldn't this be a good time to get your reserves so that when go time comes, you don't have to worry who's on the babysitting list or the pickup, you know, who's on the carpooling list?
Lynn, I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at. Yeah, that's very obvious now with this metaphor that we have created, that yeah, that's very true. And this idea of trying to do it all yourself is not super sustainable and is also exhausting.
Right.
So,
yeah. And we know from you have that disc profile that we've talked about that needs support, that needs a base around you to give you the feedback, or at least to know I've got your back.
Yeah.
So I'm really going to challenge you to solidify that during a break.
No, I like that a lot.
The Alive Hour, Chloe, sounds like it needs to go out and play a little bit and have a recess of its own.
Yeah, I really like that. I think I feel like I'll even think about that language and see if some of that language might be a way to communicate that to people, because that's really resonating with me.
So kind of as we're wrapping up, what do you feel like you're going to do and you've gained insight on?
Well, that I have a digital baby that I have been helicopter parenting.
Okay.
B, it's good for babies, digital and otherwise, to have a little recess and breathe a little bit and run around and be in the air, and see that recess, well, see or be amended, that recess is also good for parents because they need a break as well. And then, yeah, I guess actual C, that finding help from other people to go forward, and having some babysitting help is a way to take care of yourself by really acknowledging that you need help from other people and trusting them.
There you go. Sound more organized in your mind.
Yeah, I feel like it.
Honestly, Chloe, the Alive Hour came from what part of you?
Yeah, well, it came from, I think, just sort of the most like childlike, vulnerable, open to exploration kind of part. So yeah.
That part's not going to die.
Mm.
I mean, look at your age and you've carried it this far. It's a vibrant, attractive, vital, colorful, courageous part of you. It's survived a long time. It's thriving often. It can't be terminated.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right. How do we do?
Great.
Good.
To carry this baby imagery in my head for a while.
Good for you. One that you don't have to change diapers for.
Yeah, amen. Amen to that.
All righty. We'll see you next time.
Great. Thanks, Lynn.